guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to keep showing you guys the book, How to Reassess Your Chess, Chess Mastery Through Chess Imbalances. And this is the second video that we're having about this book. And in our last, in one of our previous videos, I talked about the topic about superior minor piece, bishop versus knights, and hope you guys found that helpful to your chess games. And today we're looking at the second topic that we have, which is pawn structure, weak pawns, pass pawns. So it's all about pawns. And in our first position here, you can see that this is passed pawns. So white has a b6 pawn here. b6 pass pawn, and black has a d4 pass pawn. a6 is actually also a pass pawn, but it's way too far behind, so we just focus on d4 right now. And we can see that our pass pawn, white's pass pawn in this case, is only 2 squares away from promoting, while black still has 3 squares. And it's very clear that it's much easier for white to promote because the bishop controls the promoting square, while the d1's promoting square for black is controlled by the rook and the queen, which is very hard. So here, as you can see, black has 2 pass pawns and white versus white's only passer, but here actually black can just resign simply because the pass pawn is further advanced and all his pieces are working together to help this pawn promote. And we can see that, well, of course we go b7, which is very obvious. And now the next move, b8, is b8 equals queen, is actually unstoppable, and it would threaten black, or will threaten to win a whole rook. And now, for example, if black goes rook b8, for instance, we take, of course. I mean, if he goes, let's just say if he pushes d3, alright? If it pushes d3, we queen, of course, and rook has to take. Now we take with the rook or the bishop. Taking with the rook is slightly better. And after takes, white is just up a rook and winning, of course. But of course, rook b8 is the same. After takes, even though white is just up half a piece, it is actually even faster to win for white. We can go queen c6. And let's say black goes queen d8. If black takes, this is losing on the, losing immediately, even faster. And let's say bishop e5, for instance, rook c8, king g7. And now we can just kick the bishop away with f4, bishop d6, rook b8, bishop takes. And for example, rook a1 or rook c1 is also possible. Rook a1, let's say, d3, and king f3. Now d2, there's king e2, the king catches up with the pawn, and white is winning. Next move will be taken on a6, and then rook a8, and then promote, and win the game. So here, after queen c6, black goes queen d8, which is no big difference, still losing. Now we can go queen c8. After bishop e5, for example, we take, and then there's rook c8, promoting on the next move, and it's simply winning. We will be up a rook in this case. So as you can see in this position, even though black has 2 pass pawns versus white's only passer, we can see that the quality of this pass pawn is much higher than these 2 other pass pawns. So sometimes in positions, quality is much more important than quantity. And yeah, that is just very important. For example, here, even though the quantity of these 2 black's pass pawns are much lower than this white's passer's quality. So that is the most important thing here. Now let's go to the next position here. Position 2. Here, this is not about passed pawns, but this is about weak pawns. And it's pretty obvious. The weak pawn here in the position is the e6 pawn. And this is a weak and isolated pawn. And naturally, white will dictate his whole game, like his whole plan to get for it, to win this e6 pawn. And now, of course, we can see that these two rooks and the queen, like white's, all of white's major pieces are already lined up on the e-file looking at this e6 pawn, but it's not enough, even because black's also has 3 major pieces looking at protecting this pawn, so we need more pieces to help. Now, it's pretty obvious. There are bishop h3 and knight g5. The 2 minor pieces are not doing much here, but knight g5 now faces a problem, for example, with knight d4. This knight here is very annoying, and white does not want to allow that. So bishop h3 is a better choice and the best move here in the position, attacking this pawn, and it's very hard for black to defend it. If king f7, there is now bishop takes e6 actually after takes. We can either take or go knight g5, which is winning material, of course, and which makes the knight d8 move the only protecting move. But now, since there's no longer knight d4 threats, we go knight g5, and this pawn is simply just hanging. After knight g5, for example, if black goes bishop b8, for example, now taking on e6 is possible, but not the best, because now black has some queen c6 ideas, trying to use this pin to create some counterplay, but still, white is still winning. Yeah, but the best move here is this very interesting move and a good move, f5. Now white is using this pin. White is using this pin to create counterplay, and black can only take with the g pawn, because taking with the e pawn loses a rook, a whole rook. And now taking with the g pawn, there's bishop f5, and if black takes, this is the same consequence. So white's just winning. After g takes f5, let's say, bishop takes f5, black's king is also very dangerous, and white should be winning later on. So in this kind of positions, you have to be very, you have to know where's your opponent's weakness. For example, in this position, actually white's pawn structure are all pretty solid. There's no big weakness actually, and this e6 pawn is just obviously a very big weakness. And like both sides, they are putting their all their pieces to protect or to attack this pawn. So you have to know what is the main weakness in a position and how to attack it. And knight g5, again, there's knight d4, which gives black counterplay. So when you're attacking your opponent's weakness, you always have to remember not to give your opponent any counterplay. So because if you give your opponent counterplay, then it might make your your attacking plan, like it might annoy you, you know, like make your attacking plan go slower, or yeah, something like that. So there's knight d4, and it's pretty annoying. The knight also controls e6 or protects e6, and now black actually stops white's plan, and white just needs to look for a new one now. So you have to be careful not to give your opponent any counterplay when you're attacking, and if you do this, then you should be winning. Alright, now let's take a look at the next position. So now this is no longer about like weak pawns or passed pawns. This is a new topic. It is about space, the annexation of territory. Now this position, let's take a look at it. It's just like a nightmare for black. His pieces are all cramped inside his pawn chain, and white has a huge advantage here, a winning advantage actually. So in such positions, the side with this much space is certainly going to find his way to enter his opponent's territory. But we need to find a way. Now, for example, here in this position, white enjoys a lot of space and enjoys a wealth of riches and can accomplish this by preparing a queenside attack, of course. But there are also kingside ideas, for example, like g4, g5 breakthroughs, and both sides, on the queen side and the king side, white has a lot of space advantage. And there are many logical moves here. Actually, white can go anywhere here, play any move. At least it's not play any move, and white is still better actually. Just don't throw away your pieces. There are many logical moves here. For example, there is I'm just gonna draw the arrows out. Oops, wait. C5, G5 ideas, and Rook CG1, for example, or Rook H1. I mean, these are all very logical moves. Either you're attacking on the king side or you're attacking on the queen side. And here, we can see that, white just has a lot of space, even though the pawn structure is a little bit close here. In the center of the board, it's all fixed. But on the queen side and the king side, white has a lot of attacking ideas. G5, C5 are the two main attacking plans. But when you're looking at black's point of view, this is a total nightmare. Black simply can't do anything. For example, if this were black to move, probably there's C6, but it doesn't really help. There's no way for black to stop G5 or C5, and black can only wait to and black can do nothing simply and will lose, of course. So this is a total nightmare, and when you're playing a game, just don't enter a position like this where you can simply do nothing and just wait for your opponent to destroy you. So that is a very bad thing. And so of course you want to be white here in this kind of positions. It's just you can enjoy a huge area of space, and black can simply do nothing to stop you. Let's say if you go G5, which is possible, takes, and H takes, let's say. Now we go Rook H1, and this is already very dangerous for black. Of course, if you don't want to open up the position that early, you can go, for example, Rook CG1 or Rook H1. I mean, nothing is, you can do anything here actually quite. Rook H1, for example, and then G5 ideas. Let's say if black goes B6, trying to create some counterplay, go G5 and takes, let's say, G takes. Now we cannot take on, we could take on G5 immediately after takes. This is also winning. But when you're attacking, it's best to not exchange a lot of pieces. You can also go Rook H1 here. After you take, let's say if black goes here, for example, Rook C8, not doing anything, you can now take after exchanging all of these pieces, go Rook G5, and now attacking G7, which is very weak, and black can protect with Rook F7. Now we go Queen G2, say Queen E7, and Queen H3, Rook H1 ideas, threatening mate. And this is just winning. Alright, so these are the 3 positions that I share with you today from the book How to Reassess Your Chess. And these are all actually imbalances. Space imbalances, minor piece imbalances, and also pawn imbalances like weak pawns or passed pawns. These are all imbalances. And you have to catch all of these details to really use this imbalance. And in the book it says an imbalance is any significant difference in the 2 respective positions. So it's the key details that you really have to focus on. And an imbalance is very important in a position, and you have to look for it. So yeah, I think that's it for today in this video. I shared 3 positions with you guys, and hopefully in the next video or in the videos after this one, I will share more positions with you guys and more techniques, and hope you guys find this helpful too. Well, that's it for today, and see you in the next video. Bye!